My name is Emily Parker, and for the last 7 years, I believed I had a happy, ordinary marriage. My husband, Daniel, worked as a project manager at a construction firm, and I taught English at our local high school. We lived in a quiet neighborhood with tree-lined streets, a white picket fence, and neighbors who always waved when they saw us. To the outside world, we were the perfect couple. But perfection is fragile, and mine shattered the night a strange woman walked into my home. It was a Friday evening in late September. The air felt unusually cold, and the sky was getting dark quickly. I came home early because classes were cancelled for teacher training. I planned to surprise Daniel with his favourite lasagna. But when I stepped inside, I heard voices. A woman's voice, soft, gentle, but unfamiliar. My heart tightened. At first, I thought maybe Daniel's sister had come to visit, but she lived 2 states away. I put down my bag quietly, my fingers trembling. I slowly walked toward the living room and stopped dead in my tracks. A young woman, maybe in her mid-20s, sat on our couch. Long dark hair, pale skin, nervous eyes. She clutched a small purse against her chest like she was afraid someone would take it. And sitting next to her was my husband. When Daniel saw me, his face drained of colour. "Emily, you're home early." The woman didn't say a word. She looked at me the way a child looks at a doctor, fearful, unsure, studying every movement. My throat tightened. "Daniel, who is she?" He hesitated, and for the first time in 7 years, I saw something in his eyes I had never seen before. Guilt. "Emily," he said slowly. "This is, her name is Lily. She's just someone who needed help. Just someone. A random woman sitting in my home on my couch with my husband while he talks like they've known each other for years." I kept my voice calm. "Help with what?" He opened his mouth, closed it again, looked at the floor, looked at the ceiling. He was searching for a story. I could see it. Finally, he said, "She has nowhere to go. I met her outside the grocery store. She was crying." I stared at him. "And you brought her here, to our home, without even calling me?" The woman lowered her head. Her fingers dug into her purse. She looked terrified. Daniel stepped forward. "Emily, please. She's been through something awful. I couldn't leave her out there." I wanted to scream, to cry, to throw something, but instead I just nodded stiffly. "Fine," I said. "Then she can stay for a few minutes while we figure out what she needs. But you and I will talk privately." Daniel swallowed hard. He knew what that meant. We stepped into the kitchen. I closed the door behind us. "What the hell is going on?" I whispered sharply. "Emily," Daniel said, rubbing his forehead. "I really did meet her outside the store. She looked lost, scared, like she had been running from something. And you decided to become her savior. Please don't make this into something it's not." "How can I not?" I shot back. "She's sitting in my living room, and you look guilty as hell." Daniel sighed. "I'll explain everything. Just be patient." I crossed my arms. "Fine, start talking." He didn't. Instead, he said, "She's hungry. Let me get her something to eat." That was when I felt the first crack in my trust. He was avoiding my questions, and the woman in my living room felt like a shadow creeping into my marriage. We ended up sitting at the dining table together, me, Daniel, and the mysterious woman named Lily. I tried to observe her quietly. Her face was bruised slightly near the jaw, like someone had grabbed her too hard. Her hands shook when she picked up the fork. She ate like someone who hadn't had a proper meal in days. Finally, I spoke softly. "Lily, where are you from?" She looked at Daniel first, almost like she was seeking permission. That made me angry. Why was she looking at him for reassurance? Why not me? This was my house. I'm from out of town," she whispered. "What happened to you?" I asked. I can't say." The fear in her voice was real, not fake. Something was wrong with her. Deeply wrong. But Daniel interrupted immediately. "She's been through trauma, Emily. Don't push her." Trauma? Now Daniel was speaking for her. My suspicion grew darker, deeper. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the image again. Daniel sitting next to Lily, their voices soft, their bodies close, as if they shared something I wasn't allowed to know. At around 1:30 a.m., I heard footsteps, soft, careful footsteps. I got up quietly and peeked out of the bedroom. Daniel was walking downstairs, but he wasn't going to the kitchen. He walked straight into the guest room, Lily's room. My heartbeat roared in my ears. I followed him silently and stood outside the door. The door wasn't fully closed. A small gap remained, and I heard his voice. "It's okay, you're safe, I'm here." My stomach twisted. Then Lily's voice, "Please, don't leave." I felt something break inside me. I pushed the door open. Daniel jumped up like a guilty teenager caught sneaking out. "Emily, wait! What is going on here?" I said, my voice shaking with rage. Lily curled into herself like a frightened animal. Daniel raised both hands. "Please let me explain." "Explain what?" I snapped. "Why you're comforting a strange woman in the middle of the night, in our house, while I'm upstairs wondering if my husband is cheating on me?" Lily began to cry, quietly, painfully. Daniel looked at her, then at me, then back at her. Finally, he said words I never expected. "Emily, she's not who you think she is." My voice dropped. "Then who is she?" He swallowed hard. "She's my daughter." The world went silent. "My daughter," I repeated, my throat dry. Daniel nodded slowly. "I had a relationship before I met you. I didn't know she existed. Her mother never told me. She passed away last month. She left a letter saying Lily was mine, and I just found her yesterday." My knees almost gave out. "You have a daughter," I whispered, "and you didn't tell me." "I was trying to figure out how," he said. "I was scared. I didn't want to hurt you." "Hurt me?" I laughed bitterly. "You brought her into my home like she was some stray animal, instead of telling me the truth." Lily sobbed loudly now. She looked so young, so fragile. Her eyes begged for understanding. "She was living with her mother's abusive boyfriend," Daniel continued. "He hit her. He controlled her. She escaped 2 nights ago. She had nowhere to go." The bruise, the shaking hands, the fear. It all made sense now, but the betrayal still burned. "You should have told me," I said quietly. "I'm your wife." Daniel's voice cracked. "I know, and I'm sorry. I was terrified you'd leave me." I wiped my tears. "Lying to me is the fastest way to make that happen." The next morning, something even worse happened. A black car parked outside our house. A man stepped out, tall, muscular, with tattoos down his arms. He pounded on our door. Daniel peered through the window. His face turned as white as paper. "It's him," Lily whispered, trembling. "Mum's boyfriend." The abusive man, the one she escaped from. Daniel told me to stay inside and called the police. But the man began shouting, "Lily, I know you're in there. You think you can run from me." My blood ran cold. He looked dangerous, violent, the kind of man who could break into our house without hesitation. I grabbed Lily's hand. "You're safe. He's not coming in," she cried into my shoulder. The police arrived just in time. The man resisted, shouted, threatened, but eventually they took him away. Lily collapsed into Daniel's arms, shaking uncontrollably. I watched them, and something inside me softened. This girl wasn't the enemy. She was scared, alone, a child who had lost her mother and just found her father, a father who didn't know how to tell his wife the truth. Later that evening, Lily approached me gently. "Emily, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble. If you want, I can leave." I knelt in front of her. "You're not leaving," I said softly. "You're family now." Her eyes filled with tears, and she hugged me tightly. The next days were quiet and emotional. Daniel apologized 100 times. I apologized too, because I let suspicion blind me when I could have shown compassion. We decided to take Lily in, officially, to give her the life she deserved, a safe home, a real family, a chance to heal. Some nights the past still hurts. Trust takes time to rebuild. But when I see Daniel and Lily together, when I see her smile for the first time in weeks, when I hear her call me Emily in a shy, hopeful voice, I realize something. The truth was worse than I imagined, but it also led to something more beautiful than I ever expected. Not the end of my marriage, but the beginning of a new family.